So here we have different types of templates, the Scrum board, the template, and web development, Trello, Agile. Mostly we go for the Trello Agile sprint board because we follow the Agile methodology. So Agile methodology is basically when you have divided your terms to large project into smaller terms. Okay, so
Got it.
we go mostly for this one.
Yeah. Hello and welcome everyone to another episode of Down and Dirty. And today I have with me Mansi Sinha. Mansi is an IT business analyst. She's been working for about 2 years, has done a couple of internships before that. So new on the job market, which is always so exciting. I love it when I talk to people who have newly entered the marketplace because you get fresh perspectives and you learn about what matters to the new generation that's coming in, their anxieties, their challenges, things that are working for them, aspirations for the future. So hopefully we'll get into a little bit of all of that, Mansi, when we get talking. And you're currently working at Adjacent, right? So that's an app development company. And before we jump into anything, Mansi, welcome on the show. Is there anything that you would want to add to the introduction that I just gave?
No, thank you so much. You have very well explained me, and of course, I can relate to this. And thank you so much. We can continue.
Lovely. Okay. All right. So let's start by first understanding that as someone who's a fresher, so to speak, what is the life of an IT business analyst at this stage of the process?
Okay, so first thing which I'll say is that what we had an idea of being a business analyst, it is completely different.
Okay.
When we were in college, we were taught like lots of programming languages and everything like this. You have to do that, you have to do. But when we come to the ground reality, it is completely different. Okay, it is more of a when we come to the ID part, it is different, and when we go to the any other industry, okay, the business analyst converts, it becomes totally different. So in IT, it is more about interacting with client and bringing your development team and designing team all together. But in different industries, there will be their different roles and responsibilities. So it goes like that. And here, as a fresher, I would say that I got to know, okay, it is more about the document part. Few project management tools are there. The designers, they have to interact with the team and understand the requirements and everything. That's pretty much it. It's not very rocket science. It's very easy. But when we were in college, the idea was completely different.
Okay, so I want you, obviously now my interest is piqued and I want you to dig into that a little bit more. Give me a clear example of what did you learn in college that when you came into the real world, you realized, holy shit, this is not what I was expecting. What was that?
Okay, so in my college time, I was told, okay, go through the programming languages such as Python, advanced Excel, the SQL, and everything. Okay, and when I got to the interviews, I got a job from college in a marketing, which I left. Okay, I wasn't interested in that at all. So I went for the interviews at so many places, and I got to know, okay, IT is a very different field. Okay, they ask you about the documents part. They will ask you generalized questions like how you interact with client, how you will understand your design. If there is a conflict, and there is how you'll manage the time and how you'll manage the project. So these were the things which we were asked. So I got to know, okay, it is very different, and what we were taught is completely
So it was more technical in college. Would that be fair to say? And then when you came out, you realized, wow, it's actually a little bit more about
more of a
client servicing and project management. Right? Okay. All right. So then tell me, when you were in college, were you exposed to any kinds of tools or apps to do project management, even a little bit of project management or client servicing, or was it all only technical?
We were taught there was this I think there was this project management tool which we were introduced to, but we were not interested, and we were like, it is of no use. Come on, what you are
Which one was that? What tool was this?
Something which was familiar to Trello. I don't remember the name. Let me think. Mm, I cannot remember it now.
Okay.
Oh,
Okay. So it
I
was
will come
similar
up
to
with it.
Trello, but you didn't
Yes.
like it.
Everybody didn't like it. It wasn't
Okay.
just me. Nobody liked it. So
Okay. Okay. So that was something that the school introduced you to, but you didn't really care much
yeah,
for it.
we
And
were
most,
like teachers more of a technical. This is not something of use. So it happened like
I
that.
okay, okay. So, all right. So then you did this in school, and now you're 2 years. You've been working in the in actually with adjacent. It's even more recent. It's a year
Yes,
or less,
it's
right?
six, 6 months.
Correct.
Yes.
Okay, all right. And you're being exposed now to client servicing work, a little bit of project management. So can you tell me what does your day actually look like? Like what time do you like really, honestly, what time do you wake up? Are these flexible hours? Do you go to office? What is it if you had to map from the time you wake up till the time you hit the sack, go to bed? What are you doing?
Okay, it wasn't a flexible timing. It was
Okay.
completely strict timing. So I had to like get up, get ready, obviously, look pretty,
Yeah.
and yes, and get my lunch packed and everything, and then go to office. Reach office by 10, 15 minutes. We had this buffer time, and once we'll reach there, so there was no conventional work. That these are the things which you have to follow today. Tomorrow is the desk task. You have to log in and all that. Basic, you have to open your mail and
Hmm.
Skype to check what are the mails have came so far, or the messages from client or from the team or anybody. So we do that, and next we go according to the project, like where exactly the project is heading. Then we continue from there. Like if today we have to connect with the client for the meeting, so we go for that. Otherwise, if we are into designing phase, so how much the design has been completed, or if it is into development phase, so what are the progress which has been done so far. So it goes like that.
Got it. Got understood. Okay. So you've done all of this. Your day depends on what is happening. So clearly, staying on top of project management, like what is happening at the project level, is important to how your day unfolds.
Yes.
Correct? Okay. So you've done all of this. Day ends at what time approximately?
7.
7. Okay. And then are you commuting home or is it close to home? What's the distance between
I
home and
commute. It takes around 45 minutes for me to reach back at my place. So that's fine.
okay.
That's pretty much it.
And then what? And then what happens? You get home, do you take your work home or do you just check out and you say, okay, now I don't do work and
No, no,
you
no,
do
no.
something
We
else?
have to work. Obviously, if there is any work pending, then
Yeah.
obviously you have to complete it first. And second, meetings are usually at night because our clients are international. Okay, so we keep the meeting as per their timings. Like we have to join the meeting at 12 a.m., 1 a.m. It could be 2 a.m. as well. So we have joined the meetings at that time as well. So we work late night. We have.
And
So
normally, what time do you go to bed? Let's say you did not have a client meeting, then what's the usual time that you go to bed?
I'll still sleep around 1 or 2.
1 or 2 in the morning. And then but I guess it's okay because office is not till 10 o'clock in the morning. So
Yes,
you can still get a good amount of sleep and then leave
yes,
for work.
yes. Even if
Okay.
I get up at 8:30, so I give my time from 8 to 8:30. So if I get up at that time, everything is done.
I
So
see. Okay. Okay. So, we talk a little bit about challenges or hurdles that currently come in the way of you doing your job or whatever it is that you're set to do in a day? Is there anything that's a problem right now or something that you're struggling with?
well, I'd say every day is challenging somehow in some way or other. So what happens like when we come up with a project? So
Hmm.
it is just an idea in the head of a client. We have to put it in documents in the form of technical terms, everything which is required and all. And after that, there are few things we are not completely aware of because
Hmm.
obviously a certain client wants certain things. We don't even know if it's feasible or not. We have to do our own R&D. We have to talk to the development team if it could be done or not. And not just that, they come up with different even the technical team or the development team, they come up with the words or the things which we are not aware of. So we have to
Okay.
do our own R&D. Sometimes it happens that our development team says that it's not possible,
Hmm.
that cannot be done, but we have to check from our end as well, it could be done or not. because we are told that okay, you cannot simply go on whatever the team says. You have to use your own brain. You have to like continuously keep on doing research, like if it is possible or not, if it is feasible or not, and how long it will take, so that there shouldn't be any communication gap or any gap from the client and or the development team. And that's it.
Okay, so managing expectations is one, and assessing the feasibility of a project, that is something that you also have to do in addition to what the development team might tell you, right?
Yes.
So tell me something, when you're facing these challenges, in terms of doing your own R&D or managing expectations, how are you currently managing it? Like, what is the best thing that you can do, that the best solution that you have found to do this, to overcome these challenges?
Okay, prioritizing my work using the project management tool is one of the things, because
Okay.
obviously every day you come up with the things and you don't know like
Mm.
okay, this has been done, this is pending, this is also have to be done. So we use Trello for that. Okay, or
Hmm.
I personally use it for my personal benefits as well and for managing the project as well.
Okay.
Okay, and the R&D part, obviously ChatGPT is almost everywhere now.
Yeah.
So
Yeah.
everybody do the R&D from that only. So that's pretty much it. Either ChatGPT or Bard, we go for that. Whatever
Okay.
works.
Chat GPT or Bard. Fair enough. Okay. And so, on the other side of this coin is, what do you think are the strengths, or who are the right influencers? What is going right in this? Like, where are the strong points in your job?
Strong points in my job, I'd say one is pay scale is good.
Okay. Okay. Okay.
Yes.
That's great.
Yes, and not just that, every day you get to learn something new. Okay, it's
Hmm.
not that you are getting up, you are doing the same login, sign off, and every day is same. It's not like that, repetitive in the same way. It's like every day you are doing something new. You are learning something new. You are coming across somebody new. You are learning. Eventually, you
Got it.
are, yeah, you are progressing in some way or other. So it is a great thing. Like
Okay.
you don't get bored of it. It's fun.
And what would you say? Are there any factors, personally or externally, that are strong points, which means that they are actually enabling you to do your job better? Is there, for example, it seems like an app like Trello is helping you do your job better,
Yes.
right? It's allowing you to organize your time. So similar to apps or people, maybe there's someone who is, assisting you in your job, or maybe it's a personality trait, maybe it's something internal. What are the things that help you do your work as a business analyst better?
Okay, there is a teammate of mine, like not in my team, like he's into data scientist, and I find him very intellectual. Like the way he does things and the way he organizes everything and the kind of intellect he has. So
Hmm.
it kind of inspires me even more.
Hmm. Okay.
Yes, yeah, it does inspire me a lot. It's not that he just have the idea of the work he's doing. Not just that. Even when he talks about food, okay,
Hmm.
he'll explain it in a way now you'll be interested in eating that food.
Yeah. Okay. Okay.
So it's
Lots of
like
explanations.
yeah,
It's grounded
influence, I'd
in.
say. Yes, he has that kind of aura, the influence. I
Yeah.
feel like this is something which I also want. Like, if people are hearing me, listening to me, they can relate to it and get influenced in a good manner, obviously. So, that is one thing which I really admire about that person. So, it's good.
Okay. All right. Okay. So let's talk specifically about. So it seems that, like you mentioned, from your daily workflow also, and in the context of you trying to overcome some of the obstacles around managing expectations, and time, is using Trello, right? So it's a tool that is allowing you to gain control of your day, it seems, right? In a way,
Yes,
especially when
exactly.
nothing is set, right? Especially when nothing is really set, it seems, and everything is project based. So in addition to Trello, let me start by asking, are there any other go-to tools? So you mentioned ChatGPT actually, and you mentioned Trello. You actually also mentioned Slack at one, I'm sorry, not Slack, Skype at one
Sky.
point, right?
Yes.
for your meetings. Are there any other tools, platforms, products, things that are open on your computer or a tab that's always on because you need it to do your day to day?
No, I would say that Skype, ChatGPT, and Trello, these are mostly open all the time. And yes, there is also Figma. Okay,
Figma. Hmm.
yes, Figma is open if we have to see the designs and the comments of the clients and everything. So it has regular updates from all the teammates as well. So
Yes.
if it is required, it is also open. Otherwise, these three works mainly, and this is also fine. So in addition to that, Figma prototypes and all are open.
Got it. Okay, so can we now talk about Trello in particular? And can you give me a few examples of how you use Trello? Like, what are the different reasons why you might use Trello?
Sure. So, I'll start by saying that Trello, how it happens, like you can create your own workspace in
Hmm.
it. Okay, and there are boards, cards, lists, and there are checkboxes.
Hmm.
So once you have completed it, you can simply cross them off like it
Hmm.
has been done. So it is a great way to manage your day-to-day life, and it is like from a basic you can simply do like to do, currently doing,
Hmm.
done, and
Hmm.
then that's it. These three are enough. If you have to
Yeah.
like just go like this, then these three are enough. And even for long-term goal, if you have some sort of like fitness goal you have or that maintaining, so then also you can use it for your personal use, and not just that, it will give you an idea of how to use it as well. Like okay, if I start just on the basis of managing my own day-to-day
Hmm.
life, so eventually I'll become pro in it, right? So it's a great idea, great way to learn new technologies and explore the ideas and understand whatever is going around in the world. So that's it, it's great. I feel like that.
Okay, all right. So I'm curious about one thing that you said, which is eventually the more you use it, you'll become a pro in it. And I want to understand a little bit more about what that means. And I'm wondering if the best way to do this is actually to see your board. So you can tell me, how is it that you can become more and more of a pro at Trello? So should we do a share screen?
Yeah, sure, not an issue.
Yeah,
Uh,
okay.
Give me a second. Okay, so this is the Trello screen.
Okay.
Okay, so whenever you log in, you'll get this dashboard, and this is the dummy I've created. Like for my personal use, I have this different mail ID, and for that I use this one. So I've
Sure.
logged in from there. I'm not
Yeah.
using my official one.
Yep.
So
Makes sense.
yes, so this is the screen. So you can see this is how it looks.
Hmm.
And for workspaces, here it is workspaces, recent, and whatever the basic things you can explore. And here we can create a board.
Hmm.
Okay, it could be for our personal use, or we can start with a template and we can create a workspace. Over here, we can start with a project. It is mainly for the actual project you are managing in your offices, and then
Yeah.
you can add people in it as well. So let's
So
explore.
normally how would you use it? Would you just create a board or would you, and let's talk about work. So when you're using it for work,
Mhm.
is this normally something that's already set up for you or is this something that you would create by picking one of these options?
It depends what I require.
Hmm.
Sometimes I love to explore templates. It's something
Okay.
which I really like.
Okay.
Whether be it anywhere, even if I have to create or make a presentation, I'll explore templates a lot. Presentation doesn't take time, templates take the choosing
Okay.
part.
Okay. All
So
right.
yeah, so I go with the template. So here are different templates which we
Hmm.
can see. So on a broader screen, we can go here.
Hmm.
So it's opening. And here we can also see there are different options, like
Yes.
different fields there are, like for education, engineering, marketing, whatever you want to choose, and then you
Yeah.
can explore. So obviously I'll go for engineering part.
Hmm.
So here we have different types of templates, the Scrum board, the template, and web development, Trello, Agile. Mostly we go for the Trello Agile sprint board because we follow the Agile methodology. So Agile methodology is basically when you have divided your, I'm using the layman term obviously, when
Yeah.
you have divided your terms to large project into smaller
Hmm.
terms. Okay, so
Got
we
it.
mostly for this one.
Yeah.
And there are different templates which people can explore, obviously. So
So yeah, sorry, go ahead. Yes.
okay,
If
if
you
I
click
just
on
come
Agile,
on one of them, so you can view it here. So is it visible?
yes.
So this is how it looks. Okay,
Hmm.
so here is the templates. You can see the backlogs. Here is sprint backlogs, and then works, bugs, testing, everything is included over here. So if you don't
What do
want to,
you what do
yes,
you think about this? This seems pretty. There's graphics happening. There are cards. There are certain properties that have already been embedded into the cards, right? Like ways of keeping track of things.
yes.
Uh, what are your thoughts on the features that Trello templates have?
I feel that these features are quite helpful. It makes it interesting as well. Like you want to like get into it and understand whatever it is. So let's open one of them and then we can talk about it. Like this is a template and
Got it. Can we open the Agile one? Because you said that's the one that you use a lot, right? So it would make
sure,
sense to kind of work with what you're very familiar with.
sure, we can do that. Okay, here is the agile one. It is the simplest form
Hmm.
of, I'd say, the template or the board.
Got it.
And there is one more which I've already created. I can show you that too as a dummy project it is. So let's open this one first.
And how long would you say it would take a new person to learn, navigating Trello? Like the
It
first time
will
you did it, how long did it take you to get a hold of it?
hardly 1 week, I would say.
Okay, that's cool. That's cool.
Yes, so here is already created one. Like if you want to make any changes, you can simply click on it and
Hmm.
here is the description which you can write and the bugs and blocks, so they have their own template, okay, which you can explore, you can go for it whatever you like. And this is the one which I created, so I'll open this one. This is the basic one which I use, which
Hmm.
we use in the organization because we don't use too much of graphics and all, not
Hmm.
required.
Hmm.
So we start with the summary of any project and we write about it. So it is about the electric vehicle and all. So we come here. So you can see here is the description which we have
Yeah.
mentioned.
Yeah.
Okay. And then the modules come inside it.
Yeah.
And once we have done it, we can simply check it. So this is the
Hmm.
checkboxes which I was talking about. It will
Right.
literally cross it off. If you have simply written that I want to eat outside food for a week.
Yeah.
So if it is done, you can check it. Otherwise, you have to leave it and try it again.
I can see how this is very gratifying. Every time you check a box, you're like, okay, done. And it shows
Yes,
you visually that you're done.
yes,
So
it feels good from inside. Like
feels
yes, we
yeah.
have done it. So
Right,
it
right,
looks
right,
like
right.
that. So
Um,
here is yes.
Got it. So I actually wanted to ask that I remember you telling me that in college you had been exposed to a project management tool that was similar to Trello. You don't remember what it's called. Can you think of that in your mind and tell me how is Trello different as an experience from that?
Trello is much easier, I'd say, and Trello somehow makes it fun. Okay,
Hmm.
when you go to the working space and you are given certain things to explore, you find it fun. But in college, everything is same. Like in when we talk about the college part, should I stop sharing the screen or should I keep it?
Yeah, I mean, is there, that's okay. I actually was wondering if there were certain features or aspects of what you're sharing that were
Okay.
different from what you saw in college, right? You said it's easier to navigate, right? So I'm
Yes.
assuming the card format, the visuals of it are just more engaging and, easy to follow. That's one thing, right?
Yes, so what happened there? We also had lots of programming languages to learn, right? So
Hmm.
it was more intriguing, more something where you have to use your brain a lot. Okay, then
Hmm.
you feel like this is something useless and we don't have to use our brain at all. So
Hmm.
it's not required.
It's not
Okay.
required. And you learned that, it seems like you learned this on the job, right? I mean, what you learned
Yes.
in college is very different from what you're doing in your job.
Yes, yes, yes. It is absolutely different. Like not even
Yeah.
single thing. But there are few things which we can relate to the technical terms and all.
Yeah.
Apart from that, the learnings which I had during the job is totally different from what we were taught.
Got it. Got it. So coming back to Trello, you use templates a lot. You like templates. You
Yes,
like the fact that visually it's a great product to just interact with. Now you had
yes.
mentioned this idea of, over time, if you use it enough, you'll become a pro. Now explain to me what that means. What does that
Uh,
mean?
what I mean over here that you will simply know how to like create a flow over here. Right. So what happens like initially you have to jog your head like what will come after this one.
Mm,
In terms of working, I'm talking about the work.
mm,
But when you come here, then you have to think about okay, what will be the modules, what will be the inner modules in it. So you have to think about it a lot. But
mm,
when once you start using it, like here we have mentioned everything, the models and all, okay, as it is visible and develop even team can view it and they can check it off once it's done they will check this off.
mm, mm,
So here is the option to add the team members
mm.
and here are the labels if we want to add any of the checklist states
Yeah.
we can give them a timeline that this is the timeline by which you have to complete it.
Mm,
And the attachment, the best part about Trello is that you can add anything like your own handwritten notes, the pictures, images, anything for the reference, and it is a great thing. So even there are custom fields if you want to. So these are the good options. And talking about the upcoming sprints. So when we talk about the login, so here comes the use cases, test cases, everything. So my point was that you understand the flow, how the workflow goes, and you will easily understand. Initially, you have to jog your mind a lot that how it
mm.
will work, but after a point, you will simply do it easily. If given an idea, okay, this is a project, it will instantly come in your head. Okay, this will come after this. This will come after this. This will come after this. So this is how it goes.
So it's basically embedded, it almost seems like it's embedded a template in your mind, right? Like you kind
Yes.
of have a structure and the product has helped you develop that structure. Would that be fair to say? From the way that
Yes.
you're talking, that's what it seems, right?
Yes, over a period of time, you get a project after project. So you start doing it, and then obviously after one and two projects, you will easily manage the third one. Unless there are challenges, there are external challenges. There will be no issue in using this
Yeah.
board or this Trello, but there are
Yeah.
other factors where you might face the challenges, such as the feasibility and everything which I talked about. So there you might find it, but not here. So it's a
And how
different.
often do you use Trello in a day, let's say? I mean, are you using it every day or just a few times a week? How does it work?
Okay, when we talk about the project, when project has started from the initial phase. So
Hmm.
if project is small, which doesn't require much of your time or duration, so we simply what we do, we don't even have to create a Trello board. It's
Mm,
fine.
mm.
It will
Yeah.
work like that only. But if the project is big enough, so you have to manage each and everything on the Trello board. Like each and everything has to be mentioned, the duration, the time that this is the timeline and the team has to finish it within the
Right.
given timeline. So it is very important in that aspect. So
Right.
apart from that, how frequently I use for my personal use, if I have to manage my day-to-day activity, then it comes that we are using it every day, right? Otherwise, when it comes to the offices, then it depends upon the project you have and how much it is required. So it's totally upon the project requirement, I would say.
Got it. Okay. But it's clearly a tool that you enjoy. So whenever
Yes,
you have to get into it for any project work, it's something that you enjoy using. And it's helpful, right? It's obviously helpful. It's not just enjoyable. Okay.
yes.
Okay. So thanks for the screen share. I think we're good with the screen share for now. I wanted
Okay.
to ask you a little bit about when you first came across Trello. Was this because of working at Adjacent or did you know about it beforehand?
Okay, it was because of working in adjacent only, and
Okay.
um, yes, before that, the Before that, in our college, we were not talked about, we were not told much about the
Yeah.
project management tool. We were, but like I said, we were not interested. So it's our
Right.
fault, basically. So, just
Correct. And in college, they didn't introduce you to Trello. I mean, even if they talked
yes,
about project management, Trello wasn't on the list.
yes. Trello, even to basic, the simplest form, they'd say that, okay, this is something which you can learn on your own. It's not a rocket science.
It's
So
not, that's true.
yeah, we talk about, let's talk about the difficult part. But what happens when you come here in the workplace, they will talk about the simplest part. Like,
Yeah.
okay, leave the difficult part, you have to do the basics. And then basics is where you get stuck. And then you have to do your own work over
Yeah.
there.
Yeah. Yeah.
So this
It,
happens a lot.
yeah. That is interesting, right? And then the case can be made. Maybe it's good that you learn the tough part in college because now everything else would be easier from there. Or maybe
Yes.
the other case could be made that, hey, why didn't they just teach us the stuff that we'll actually be using? But, who knows? Maybe, like not everyone knows that they're going to end up as a business analyst. So what the job profile would be like would vary depending on where you get placed.
But it also about the industry to
Mm.
industry. Like if you have gone to a different industry, the finance
Mm.
industry, let's say, so they will ask you for the advanced Excel kind of thing. You have to do the gap analysis. You have to
Correct.
match things. So there it will be required the advanced Excel again. And there are few who will talk about managing the you have to do the data analysis work. When we talk about business analytics, so it
Mm.
includes everything. It includes business analyst, data
Yeah.
analyst, and everything. So people often get confused between analytics and analyst. It is,
Analyst.
yes, it's two different things. Analytics requires more of a technical knowledge.
Yeah.
Analyst don't require that much of technical knowledge. So it goes like that.
Okay. So I want you to complete the sentence for me, okay? Um, Trello is a great tool for people who want to dash.
Manage their work, time management, and so
And it's on the weaker side when it comes to dash.
on. Manage. I don't know. I
Okay,
cannot
so
think.
is there anything that Trello is not doing for you or that you're not happy with about your experience with Trello?
I wish it could do R&D as well, research for me.
Mm.
It would be much easier. Like I'm getting all the research part as well, which I have to go somewhere else and do it. Instead, I'm getting the option there itself. So, but obviously, it's not its job. So it's
Yeah,
fine.
yeah, yeah. But then let's say you did your research somewhere else. How would that fit into your workflow with Trello? So let's say you have a card which says one of the things you have to do is complete research on, dashboard feasibility, let's say, right? And you're doing research somewhere else, Chat GPT, Google, Bard, whatever, right? And then what? Does that research kind of come into a card in Trello, or in Trello, would you just check it off and say research done? Like, how would the two connect in your mind? If you could, if it would connect in the future, how would it connect?
Okay, how it would connect. It's like even we get the options in modules form, in the form of modules. Like
Hmm.
if I ask, okay, what will come under this, and it comes with pointers, not
Hmm.
too much of detail, but just in pointers. So that would be very helpful for the Trello part, because then we can easily create the checklist and it will be checked off easily. That's it.
Okay, so that is at the level of the card template, saying that if it already came pre-populated, then I don't even have to write my modules, like it'll just populate. I understand that. But anything for the research, let's say if Trello did give you the opportunity to do research, where would you do, matlab, how would it fit into your cards? Like, would you
It
copy
depends.
paste that into the cards, or would you do research inside the card itself?
No, no, we don't have to put that much of detail, obviously.
Okay.
All we do is like use cases and test cases max to max. We
Hmm.
go for that much of sentence. We don't write the whole description. It's not required. So even
Got
single
it. Okay.
copy pasting will also work. But it doesn't actually work. When you are a business analyst, you have to use your brain more than
Yeah.
rely on the in on any tool, I'd say. Like you
Got
have
it.
to
Got
use
it.
your brain. It's very important because everything you cannot simply put it the
Fair enough.
objective.
And also, so I think what you're basically saying is if I didn't have to go to two platforms to do my work, that would be awesome. Right now I have to use Trello and I have to use ChatGPT or Bard, but if there's some way to kind of combine this into a single ecosystem, that's
Yes,
kind of where you're going with
yes,
this, right?
yes, yes.
Understood. Okay. All right. Fair enough. Okay. So the only thing we have left is a rapid fire. It's very, very simple. It's very simple. I don't need you to, this is not a GK quiz, right? This is about you personally. So, you ready?
I think so.
All right.
Let's
Okay.
start.
Okay. First question. Name one thing on your bucket list.
One thing on my bucket list,
Yeah.
it's just skydiving.
Okay. Very cool. Which social media platform are you most active on?
Instagram.
Okay. What comes to mind when I say happy?
Happy chocolate.
Okay. Okay. And do you believe in karma or in coincidence?
Karma. I believe in karma.
You believe in karma. Okay, all right. That was it. Mansi, this was wonderful. I really feel like I got a window into your world. And, especially as someone who's starting out in their career, what your job is every day and what is helping you, which right now is Trello, it is helping you. So that's really good to hear that there's something that's helping make your life easier. Is there anything that you want to add or talk about before we call it a day?
Not at all. I think we're done for the day.
Okay, this was great. Thanks again for your time, Mansi.
Thank you so much.
Okay, bye. Bye.